Yeah, the M4 Mac Mini is really small. As you saw, the M4 Mac Mini, it's super tiny. I mean, I couldn't believe it for the first time that I picked it up. But that's the most interesting part of this new computer, its size. But of course, sometimes there's these product launches that don't actually include only one big change, but several, and they determine one generation leap in that product lineup. And the M4 Mac Mini, that's it. We got a complete, full redesign of the M4 Mac Mini and the Mac Mini in general. You have two options, the M4 Mac Mini and the M4 Pro Mac Mini, but in today's video I'm going to focus on the base model M4 Mac Mini with 16GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, because that was the computer that I decided to buy. I do truly believe that the base model $599 Mac Mini is the best value deal on the Apple end and one of the best in the tech world. So if you are looking for a new computer and you already have a display, a keyboard and a mouse, then go out and buy an M4 Mac Mini. This will be probably the most powerful computer at your home and the cheapest. This is incredible value. But for starters, I think that Apple changed one of the most important parts with the Mac Mini. It was its design and size. The size of the M4 Mac Mini is truly incredible. I mean, I cannot put into words how small it is. For starters, it's like the same footprint as an iPhone in terms of width, which is just insane. And if you compare it to an Apple TV, the comparison becomes more ridiculous, because the Apple TV is this very small experiment with a very small A16 or A17 chip, whatever you have. And so if you compare with the M4 Mac Mini, it's incredible that you have an M4 chip, a full cooling system, a full computer, which is very powerful on that small design. Insane. The design of the M4 Mac Mini is perfect for these types of setups, that you have a monitor stand and you want to put it below. So the M4 Mac Mini completely surprised everyone with this small design. We were expecting a very big redesign for the Mac Mini family a few years back. Let's be honest, when Apple launched the M1 Mac Mini, everyone in the tech community was asking Apple to redesign the Mac Mini into a very small, powerful box. And now they did it. The one thing that I think is quite weird is the power button on the bottom. Why would you put a power button on a computer at the bottom? Does not make any sense. Until you realize that Apple doesn't want you to turn off this computer. Apple wants to use this computer always on. You just put it to sleep. Whenever you want to use it, you wake it up. Maybe that's the reason that Apple puts the power button at the bottom, to force you not to turn off your computer. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe Apple just likes to create anything that is controversial to increase the hype of the product. This has been a running theory on the Apple community, that Apple always likes to create something controversial on their iPhones, on their iPads, on their Macs, to make it even more controversial and hype it up even further. Of course, you want attention. And if it's bad, if it's good, you don't care. You just want attention. And Apple does that on almost every single product launched. The Magic Mouse, one example. The power button at the bottom of the Mac Mini, another example. AirPods Max and missing the cable, one example. So many examples, like the AirPods only coming in one color. There are so many examples of Apple liking to annoy their customers just to create confusion, just to create more hype behind the product. And the M4 Mac Mini is just another example. But what also sets apart this computer from other computers, it's its value. Because the M4 Mac Mini, even though it's a very cheap computer, it's also super powerful. You cannot get a PC desktop this small and this powerful for this amount of money. Don't trust me? Check out Linus Tech Tips podcasts, and they talk about that specifically. They tried to build a PC by parts and to match an M4 Mac Mini with all of its value. Gigabit Ethernet ports, Thunderbolt 4 ports. You have 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports on the M4 Mac Mini, 2 USB-Cs on the front. You also have an HDMI port, which is also very powerful, and yeah, you also have the headphone jack, and you also have Wi-Fi 7 cards. So you cannot buy different parts and build a PC by yourself and get this amount of parts, this amount of quality, this amount of performance for $600. On top of that, you get a very small case, which is also very efficient. You get Apple Silicon and you get macOS. I do believe that the M4 Mac Mini value is simply insane. And I cannot see why, if you are currently looking for a new computer to add to your setup, you wouldn't get an M4 Mac Mini. Even if you want a different type of computer, even if you want an iMac, I would say don't do it. Get an M4 Mac Mini and buy an external display with the $700 you have left from saving and buy the M4 Mac Mini. Its value, its potential is truly untapped. Trust me, it's insane what Apple has done with the M4 Mac Mini. They have cut costs where they need to, they redesigned this computer when they needed to, and they progressed Apple Silicon in a way that now the M4 chip, the base model M4 chip with 10 CPU cores, is more than enough powerful for most people. Trust me, this computer will destroy most people's workflows. And it only costs $600 and is this very, very compact design. So the M4 Mac Mini is truly an incredible new mini computer. And yeah, I love it. If I didn't have my M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro where I edit all my videos, I would keep this computer. But here's the thing, in these days that I've tested the M4 Mac Mini, these 2 days that I've tested, I've edited this video and more. And what I found out was the M4 Max chip, the M4 chip, they are really close. I don't notice any difference when editing my videos on the M4 or the M1 Max. If that's a good thing for you, it is, because you can still get my laptop for $1,600, $1,700, while this M4 Mac Mini costs $600, which insane. For $600 you can get a computer that can run an entire YouTube channel. Just grab a good keyboard, a comfortable mouse, a good external display, $300 on Amazon, build yourself a nice setup just like mine, and enjoy. For less than $1,500 you can get a full YouTube rig to run your entire YouTube channel. And in my time, that was impossible. And it's actually crazy to see that 3 years later, we are comparing a $4,000 laptop that was the top of the line when it came out to a base model $600 desktop, only 3 years later. Insane that you can compare the M4 chip, which is the base model chip of the M4 family, to an M1 Max, which was almost the most powerful chip of the M1 family, and say they do have the right amount of performance in terms of CPU and GPU, which is quite crazy. Again, the M1 Max has 32 GPU cores, 32 GB of RAM, lots and lots of hardware to aid it up, while the M4 chip is a simple 10-core CPU with 16 GB of RAM. But at the end of the day, they can match the performance of itself. So if you are looking for a very powerful, small desktop computer that does not break your bank, or at least your work, it's focused on a desk, you don't really need to be mobile, then the M4 Mac Mini, it's the perfect computer. Go into the store, grab it, $600. Oh my god, that's crazy. Of course, the M4 Mac Mini is not just a small, efficient, compact computer, no, but it's a look into the future of computing. Because the M4 Mac Mini gives us a glimpse of what computers can be in the future when we can make it more efficient. When you don't focus just on performance, but you focus on performance per watt, which is something that Apple loves to focus on. Performance with an efficiency in mind. Of course, you can increase your performance, but if it causes you to lose too much efficiency, you don't do it. And Apple always focused on increasing performance, but always keeping the efficiency the same or better. And the dividends are now paid off. Apple Silicon is now more powerful than most computers and definitely the most efficient. So if you grab yourself an M4 Mac Mini with the M4 chip, you will get an amazing value. Again, I grabbed the base model with 16 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. This base model gets you 16 GB of RAM, a base model SSD, which is the only thing I don't think it's doable in 2024. I do believe that it's Apple's strategy to do so, but I think I need to pinch Apple on this one, gives us at least 512. It's too cheap to buy SSDs nowadays for you to give us only 256 GB of storage. According to Linus Tech Tips, I think it's actually more expensive for Apple to give us a 256 base model than a base model 512, which is mind-blowing why they do that. Well, you can understand why. Because Apple likes to build this price strategy, this price ladder onto their products. So you start speccing it out one bit by bit, and then you end up getting a more expensive computer than you would thought. Because, oh, I just want more RAM. Oh, I just want more storage. And you click it, and you click it. And then you end up with tiny increments that build up into a bigger price tag. So, smart move Apple, but at least gives us 512. If you gave us 512, I would say this is the perfect base model computer for everyone to buy. But because the 256 is too low, it forces me to buy an external SSD, which some people are not willing to do so. Even so, with $600 of base price, if you get an external SSD, let's just say a Samsung T7 Shield, if you get that for like $100, you get an extra terabyte of storage, an extra 2 terabytes for $200, then, oh my god, you get the perfect editing rig, and the M4 Mac Mini will be the perfect computer. It's insane what Apple can pack into this very small and compact design. That's a bit bigger than the Apple TV, but is super compact. And of course, the size of your iPhone, which is just crazy. So yes, the M4 Mac Mini is truly an innovator in this space, and I do believe that in the next few years, PC will catch up. But because Apple did this, not because this was an industry focus. No, no one actually focuses on making desktops smaller. They sit on your desktop. Why do you need a smaller computer? But Apple showed us the way. Apple likes to innovate sometimes, and the M4 Mac Mini is truly a big innovation in my opinion. And so, let me know in the comments below what you think about this very small and compact Mac Mini. Do you think it's the best value Mac in the lineup? Do you think it's one of the best deals in tech? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're there, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.